If you're new to final expense sales, this is definitely a must-see video. Door knocking leads is the basis of our industry, and anyone who is considering selling our product should know that 1, door knocking with your leads in hand is a must if you want success at final expense sales, and 2, about half of your sales, if not most of your sales, will come from door knocking final expense leads. With that behind me, in this video, I'll be sharing my exact method, actually 2 major things, pretty cool, that I say and do when dealing with someone who is hesitant about letting me in their house. We're also going to talk about that knee-jerk reaction that most people have when a salesman comes banging at the front door and how you're going to be able to easily overcome it. To me, door knocking final expense leads is an art because, well, we all do it a little bit different, and even when we've been doing this activity for a while, you're going to realize that each door knock tends to be slightly different. I mean, just think about it. It's almost impossible to say the exact same thing word for word, verbatim at every single door knock. Let's say we're at a prospect's front door. You do your thing and they don't want you to come in. And before we get started, guys, please give this video a like and subscribe. We're putting out new content every week. And as I mentioned earlier, most people tend to have a natural reaction. Basically, we all want to immediately get rid of anyone that comes to our front door with the intent of selling us something. Our objective is to minimize, as final expense agents, we want to minimize this, and that's why we only carry our leads when door knocking. And we look clean and neat and professional, and we always want to keep our company ID badge hanging around our neck for everybody to see. As soon as they open the door, I expect them to, give me a little hesitation. No problem. This is why I am very vague and always start by pointing at the card, at the lead card or the form they filled out. Always got to have the copy with you. And I'll say something like, "Hi Jerry, you had requested the information about the special benefits for people on a low income and Social Security benefits. Man, I've been trying to reach you. Where can we sit down really quick?" And as I say this, I start motioning towards the door as if they're already welcoming me into the house. By doing this, some people will naturally kind of move aside and just let you in. And for the ones that don't, just remember, your objective is to get them to lower their invisible security wall, the one that we all have. The first thing that I do is give them a reason to let me in, while at the same time, they need to know that this is not convenient for me. However, I am going to make it convenient for them. And what I'll say is something like, "Well, Jerry, I don't live near here and you are a difficult person to get a hold of. So I'll tell you what, this normally takes me about 20 or 30 minutes. How about I just give you the really super short version, like 10 minutes, and that way my boss won't send me back and start sending other people here. Where can we sit down real quick?" And again, I do this as I'm motioning towards the inside of the house, kind of nodding my head. My body language is saying, "Here I come, I'm coming in, open the door, let me in." And really, it's all about that body language, because the body language can make a big difference between you getting the boot or getting into the house. And if you stick around until the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to get a copy of the new Agent Starter Kit that has 7 really cool documents that you're going to definitely want for selling final expense insurance. Let's say you've given your first rebuttal and they still don't want you to come into the house. This is when most agents start to give up, or they will allow the prospect to take control, and the next thing you know, you're done. Setting an appointment at the door must be avoided at all costs. Remember, guys, whatever excuse that they're giving you, you have to overcome it, because whatever excuse it is, it's usually not even the truth. They love to tell you that they're getting ready to go somewhere and don't have time. 9 out of 10 times, this is just a flat-out lie designed to softly and kindly get rid of you And now what'll happen is you'll naturally start to jump through their hoops. And of course, if you reschedule at the front door, the chances of them being there when you come back the next day or whenever it is not going to be very good. And remember, even if they are there when you return, they've had a lot of time to think about it and come up with a better way to get rid of you. And they'll either chase you away again or will just ignore you altogether, won't even open the door. Remember, by allowing them to take control and get rid of you, you've taught them a couple of things. One, that your time is really not as valuable as theirs, and two, that you are a complete pushover and in no way are worthy of any respect from them. What I'll do is go back to lowering that invisible security wall we talked about earlier, and I'll say something like, Jerry, look, I understand your hesitation. Again, my job is to simply give you the information that you requested, and this is when I'll point back to the lead card. And just so you know, the last thing that I would want is for some pushy salesman to try to get over to my mom and dad's house and push their way in and convince them to buy something that they either don't want or aren't really interested in. I'm simply going to show you some options. You're either going to be pleasantly surprised and actually glad that I'm here or not, and we'll shake hands and I'll be on my way. No pressure at all. Where can we sit down real quick? You'll find that this works well once you get the hang of it, once you do it a few times, and you'd be surprised. A lot of people will start to change their tune when you just don't leave. And you just talk to them like a normal person. A lot of times they'll just kind of go, all right, come on in. And the next thing you know, that important doctor's appointment that they said they had to get ready for never happens. And now you're walking out of their house 40 minutes later with a voided check and a signed application. Don't listen. Don't believe the nonsense. Don't listen to the lies. Push past the objections and get into that house now. Never ever reschedule, never surrender. I do not reschedule. If it's local and I really think like whatever excuse the lady's telling me or the guy's telling me really makes sense, then I'll consider it. Maybe the next day I'll go back. But other than that, I will if it's like not in my area, I'm doing everything I can to force my way into that house right now. Remember, people that are on a fixed income, barely getting by, they didn't get there because, they make amazing financial decisions for themselves. You're the professional, and just think about it. If you were their doctor, would you allow them to tell you when they should see you? No. The professional sees them at his convenience. One way or another, a sale is made in every single house. Buyers are liars, so stop buying the lies and take control of your process. For a copy of the free New Agent Starter Kit that I mentioned earlier in the video, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com for more information on selling final expense and or Medicare Advantage as a completely independent agent. Just shoot me an email at that same address. Remember, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now, get out there and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting. And guys, notice as I say this, I start motioning towards the door as if they already are welcoming me into. And as I say this, notice how I start motioning towards the door as if they're already welcoming me. Come on. And as I say this, I do start motioning towards the front door, towards them, as if like, I kind of in my mind, I pretend, I think like they're already welcoming me. Well, I can't say it. And as I say this, I start motioning towards the door as if they're already welcoming me. Welcoming, whoa, man, I can't say it. And